Hi guys, so after building this new pack, let me show you quickly what I have to do now, what extra job just a few fully charged cells is making me here. Okay, as you know, when I built the new pack here, the seller has sent me about 5 cells, which other than the other ones have been sitting somewhere around 20 to 30% state of charge. Those 5 cells have been fully charged. And because lithium iron phosphate cells actually do not equalize very nicely if you put them in parallel, because they need quite some voltage difference to make those electrons flow from one cell to the other. So they did not equalize, and I have just mixed those high voltage cells into one of these strings here. Now one fully charged cell is part of a 5P configuration, and all the other cells 20 to 30% state of charge. But what does that actually mean if you mix just one cell into such a group of lower state of charge cells? It means in terms of energy that here is now 5 cell groups which do have about 150 watt hours more energy stored inside. And the only way to equalize now all these groups here is to add 150 missing watt hours to the other 11 cell groups. And this I'm doing now here with my DC power supply. So this is a 10 amp power supply. Yeah, it is putting out around 9 amps now constant current, or as you can see here on the down, about 30 watts. So it takes now around 5 hours for this DC power supply to add this extra 150 watt hours into this cell string, yeah, because this is quite a big string, 500 amp hours or 400 after degradation, and that takes quite a long time. 5 hours for each of the 11 cell strings which are now under voltage. So it will take about 50 hours or even more to get this pack balanced. And this only because of 5 fully charged cells. I don't know why those 5 have been fully charged. Maybe the seller tried to make a capacity test or whatever. But you can see this is really not good if you're getting cells in a different state of charge than other ones. It is just causing a lot of extra work. Otherwise everything is working here. Also in the electronics compartment, no problems at all for the time. Even we have blue sky now every day. I have not been able to fully charge the pack yet because we have always a lot of demand at the moment at the resort. Yeah, anyways, it will happen one of the next days. We will fully charge this and then see how much capacity is inside here. And today I will actually make it the first time that we reach such a high state of charge, almost full pack, that we can actually assess the capacity of this pack. So one charge, it's already late, one charge already turned off, and soon the charger 3 will also turn off because that phase cannot support the charge anymore. I've turned off basically everything in the hotel at the moment because nobody is here. I just want to fill up this pack. But as soon the charger 3 switches off, charger 2 will still continue for a while. There is still power there, and yeah, this should actually then be enough. Yeah, okay, now the charger 3 just switched off. So we have already put 16 kilowatt hours into the pack. As I said, this will continue still now with the 25 amp charger. We will probably not come to the point where the controller would stop the charge, but it will be very close, and we are now at the point, at the capacity level already, which equals to our upgrades. Before, with the 3 cells in parallel, I always had about 10,000 watt hours, and so with 2 extra it should be 16.7. Yeah, so we will be able to say if those cells actually added a little bit more, or if it's just similar to what was before. So to reach the switch off condition, which is a very exact voltage point under a certain condition, which means only one charger is allowed to be on, and 95% by voltage is reached, that would be the upper cutoff point, and the capacity is then reached. And the balance condition is actually not bad at the pack now. On the top we have nearly all strings sitting at 3.36 volts now. Only this one is at 3.35, but that one is anyway on schedule to be charged up a little bit more. Yeah, I think slowly we are getting it where it needs to be. It's funny, it's almost 5 and now the second array got a little boost again from the sun, and the charger 3 again turned on for a bit. So this will give us really the chance to push a little bit harder here, and yeah, we might really make it today. Yeah, but that was it already. Now we are already on the last 15 amp charger for the end of the day, and 16 almost 17 kilowatt hours. We are already above the estimated capacity if all the new cells would be same bad as the old one, let's say like that. We can already say that there is an improvement, but let's see the final result then, even if it's not a full charge today. And that's it. It is 5:10 in the evening. Nothing more to get from the sun today. The charger did not reach its upper level cutoff point, and we have charged 17.2 kilowatt hours today. So the expected was 16.7, and we got 500 watt hours more, which means that the new cells actually performed way better than the old ones. To put a number on this, 500 watt hours more is actually about 6% more. So if the old batch is at the 80% state of health, then the new one after this charging cycle would be around 86, but we did not reach the upper levels. So I would say, if I see the numbers here, that we could at least get 90% state of health on the second batch on the new cells. Right, so in terms of capacity test, that's already it. Everybody who knows my channel knows that I am not doing these full capacity tests, meaning charging all cells up to 3.65 volts and then run them down to 2.5 volts. That's not what I'm doing. That's also not my interest. It's old cells. I don't want to push them anywhere to the limits, and it's also not possible with my equipment. It's not built like that. The only thing I can do in terms of assessing the capacity of the pack is I have two pretty well defined points, an upper cutout point and a lower cutout point, and I can measure the energy between those points, and by telling how much energy was between those points, I can then more or less estimate a whole capacity of the pack. What I can definitely say after this first charging session to the top is that the pack performed better than if all cells would be same quality, right? So the first batch and the second batch cell, if those two batches of cells would be completely similar, then I would have to have a lower capacity tested than I saw today. So which tells me that the second batch, the newer cells now, have more life inside, a better health. and everything else is then already speculation, but it's probably somewhere between 85 going towards 90 percent of health, which is good. Cheaper cells, and even better, what you want more. Yeah, this pack will now prove itself during the next days in operation, and if there is anything to report, I will do that, of course. So thank you for watching this video. Please comment, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I see you next time.